No, I just got a broadcast going. I'll get into the match and see if it'll let you watch. If it does, that would make things amazing, because then I can teach you just really simply how I came up with the Broly combo for one. Like, would you say that the Broly combo is actually pretty decent compared to the square one that I use? Like, my combos with Broly do a lot of damage, yeah. I found that
If I were to give it a name that suits your sensibilities,
the broadcast?
it would be Rosé. Yes, perfect. Super Saiyan Rosé.
Or maybe it's the trick.
I am a warrior, pure of heart. A witch select Frieza.
My power level.
I used a ton select the stage. West City.
Let me know if anything pops up.
It's time to face your opponent.
Broadcast is started to okay, it's going for me. It says on here. Oh wait, I see something here. God damn it. Alright, this is gonna be a little harder to explain that. Alright, Fucking Namco. Alright. Return to lobby. Alright. I'll just have to do a mock game with you after the break. And East Coast to the lobby. Alright, in that case, could I show you real quick what I mean then? In the game? Which will just be a mock game. So I can teach you some, how I started with learning stuff. Alright, are you still in the same server? Yeah, okay. It's 11111111111. Bunch of ones. And we'll go ahead and pick all the characters that I've practiced with the most. Where are you, Black? Oh, you're already on the scene. Okay. Okay, these are the ones I feel like I have the most experience with, in terms of training. Bardock is just extremely simple to use all around. So I'm not going to use him to explain it.
Time to begin the match!
But pretend you're a computer. Just don't do anything, because I'm going to explain what I do. So first of all, when you're in the hub area, you have the tutorial area, or the practice area, at the bottom left, the circle. That's the best place to go, and you'll start training. You'll pick your 3 characters, you can pick the 3 characters of the opponent, and just press the option menu if the CPU isn't dormant already. And just set them to inactive, so they don't do anything. So, alright, first of all, Broly's regular square combo is just the punch, 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 send them in the air, slam them down, yeah, you know. So what I do is, if you hold down and triangle a bunch of times, you get this. Which you can repeat 4 times. After that, Broly has, I'm trying to remember the whole combo here. He also has a grab, where if you press down, backwards, X, he grabs the guy below. So what you do is you stop and grab after the stop animation, right? Okay, we're there so far. Then, once, in a combo, you have the ability to super dash to somebody. So after I send them flying up in the air, I super dash after them. Now, I can extend the combo simply by using this grab attack he has, which is down circle. And what that is where he presses you against his chest and blasts you across the screen, usually into a corner. And if it's a corner, we're really in business for his combo. But with anything, if you can squeeze in a couple of moves before you continue your combo, do it. So, before I do this grab attack in the air, I actually hit you a few times. And then, after I grab you, and then send you over here. Then, when I have you in the corner, I throw this energy ball down at you, which sends your character down to the bottom of the screen, and I follow up by slamming down. And at that point, you should still be stunned, and I attack you. Overall, it should look like this, all together.
Fantastic!
Just like that. See, that was all of the steps that I just showed you. And then, after you get done with that, you always gotta figure out how you're gonna get your super into a combo. The simple way I did it was, when you're up like this, I use my move. So at the very end of that combo, if I want to throw in a 10 more damage, I throw in my super.
Fantastic!
You just gotta go into your special move list and see what your characters can do. Like, no other characters have a gigantic blast that does this. However you can fit your combo in. Black is kind of fun too, because he has, as you probably already know, each character has 2 moves they can use with square, triangle, and circle by going down and forward and down and back, right? And it differs being in midair or on the ground. Like Black, if he's on the ground, his back turns into an instant transmission. Depending on the button you press, it depends on where he actually ends up. Also with Black, he has this little faster thing that he can do. And it changes every time. Circle's obviously going to be the fastest out of every single time. And when in the air, his moves change. And he also has the crosser attack in the middle as well. So, one of the ways I say that I pit myself against finding ways to fight you is I realize that Black can teleport right behind you. Now, do you realize for a moment that he was still in the air? Meaning that I can overhead you like this. In the end, it looks like that. And that's one of the ways that I play against you, is I find ways to abuse the ways that I know can get combos going with you. As you should too. You play on my weaknesses. I'm really bad against Dragon Rushes. Because when I'm playing defensively, I'm trying to think of ways to get out of it. I'm not expecting a Dragon Rush. I'm not expecting to parry or attack back.
I think not!
In which case, I should be trying to learn how to use Reflect.
You jest!
But, that is complicated. And finally, for Vegito, his combo is also kind of homebrewed, that I use for another time. I just use the simple square combo, but I also extend a back attack, a teleport back attack to bounce you, then use a Dragon Rush, and then use his teleporting move. So, his normal square move, teleport, Dragon Rush, and super move.
Just look at my speed!
Overall, it looks really complicated, but when I start to break it down, like I did with Slowly, it seems like a lot, but once you do it a few times, it actually becomes muscle memory. And I think you already know that, because playing with Zamasu for so long, I think you figured that out. But these combos took me a little bit of practice to learn. So it took me maybe 10 minutes to figure this one out. And I could only do that by practicing against a training dump. And if you still have some gas left in you, I'd recommend trying it out. Because there are so many other things I haven't done with this character too. Like he's got a tackle that can go full, like he's got his key blast still. Every character has a lot of different ways you can approach them. And the only way you're going to figure that out is by testing. And the best part about figuring out all these different ways that characters can be used against each other is you start to play on my weaknesses or your weaknesses. You start to figure out what would be good against my opponent. If you were more aggressive, I would play more fast. But you are more defensive, so I'm playing more aggressive, and I'm trying to find ways to break your defense. And the number one way that I keep breaking your defense, as I keep saying, is overhead. And I keep saying this, so I'll try to explain it, in case you don't understand what that is. There's lows, mediums, and overhead attacks in this game, and any fighting game really, that I found out. Low attacks you block while being low, obviously. If you're blocking high, low attacks can hit you. But if you're blocking low, medium attacks and low attacks can't hit you, but you're still vulnerable to getting bonked over the head, you know. And that's how I get you, is you've gotten really used to blocking low all the time. Which is not a bad habit, actually. It's a habit I picked up for a very long time. And it does defend you against people who attack low to try and break people out of their guard. But at the same time, you're vulnerable to overheads. Someone who's played the game for a really long time can easily transition from a down block to an up block right in time and know what's going to come. Am I at that point yet? Fuck no. There are some things in this game that I probably will never learn. Like how to play the game, actually. But I try to figure out ways that are simple for me to understand. Like, if you ever see a grab in this game, there's always a way to throw a move in front of it before you grab. Because grabs on their own are bad. Because you gotta be really close to the opponent and hope they don't attack first, and hope they're still close enough when the grab executes. The best way to get them off, as I've done it early so many times, is start a combo, because you're always guaranteed that if you can do it in time. It's no longer dependent on your opponent. Your opponent can't do anything about it. I put 2 grabs into that entire combo early, as you know. The first one being after the stomping, and the second one right in as I get you in the air and do the chest slap. You know what I mean? All characters, I believe a lot of the characters have grabs, and there's always ways to use them. What's one I'm trying to learn right now? Jiren, I think, has a grab. Also grabs are usually a great way to extend combos too. Anything that keeps your combo going and can maximize damage is really good. And one thing I learned about this game, and I only would have learned about this from the guy who taught us, is the whole, if you slam the character into the ground and their feet are still up, you can still hit them. So one thing I'd really experiment with you, or I'd have you look into, since you're Dragon Rushing me all the time, Dragon Rush behave in 2 ways. If they start a combo, you shoot up and you follow them. However, if your combo is already in the middle and you Dragon Rush, you notice that instead of going up with it, you knock them down to the ground. Have you noticed that yet? So there are 2 ways you can approach that. When you hit someone into the air, it's combo time. That's what should be going through your head. And you do that really well. That's one of your strengths. However, when you hit them low and they hit the ground, that's one of the best times to beat your super on. Or whenever you overhead them into the ground and they're like just smashing against the ground, their legs are still up and they're still vulnerable, that's when you land your super. And that's how I did it with Broke at the end of this combo. That's how I extended that level 3. And there's a lot, but once you start playing with it, you'll learn more. Like, supers always have different behaviors. Supers start as grabs, which I talked as before. You're going to need to find a combo to get into that, because you're never going to land one on its own, usually. There's beam supers, which once again, the opponent can just block it really easy, so you need to do it during your combo, as you already know. And there's the wild category of supers that are super hard to defend against because they have no pattern. Like Zamasu is level 3. It just shows up wherever it needs to show up. That's scary as fuck. Kefla, her level 3 just spans the entire screen, but it's easy to block against. Vegito has a level 1 that follows the opponent wherever they are. But once again, easy to block against. You gotta figure out how your supers behave and how you can finish them off in the combos. Like, can I start punching an enemy in the air and use one of my level 1 supers in the air and follow up that way? Or, for instance, can I use a normal combo with Goku Black, send you up in the air, and then use my level 3? Do you wake up in time to where you can block, or you have the invulnerability frame? Or do I need to send you in the air and do a teleport back attack so you wall bounce, and then use the level 3 while you're still inactive? You'll learn that as you start playing and practicing. Like, I'm using a lot of terms, but I feel like you should be able to understand it by now. Like, were you able to follow along with me, like, when I was talking about? Let's go. Yeah, so, and I'm gonna keep reiterating this. You're not a bad player. In fact, I have to keep learning to be able to somewhat come out on top. Because your TN is fucking terrifying with how fast he is. Your Zamasu is also kind of scary of how fast he is. And Videl has so many grab attacks, I don't even know what the fuck is happening half the time. I just have to figure it out. Yeah, the number one way, David, that I know how to get into your get my combos going is to do an overhead against you. Very rarely do I try something else. And I'm starting to learn your Dragon Rushes, which is helping. I mean, I think that'll change once you start putting some time into it, and don't be afraid to look up videos, because, like, sometimes I have to look up some stuff on my own. Here, I did this for Black and for Bardock. I want you to do this. I want you to look up a video on them on YouTube. You don't have to understand what's happening. It doesn't even have to be a tutorial, but I just want you to watch on how they fight, and how they're able to extend their combos. Of course, you're not going to be able to recreate like a professional combo like you're probably going to see on YouTube, neither am I. However, you'll find that certain moves can chain together seamlessly. For instance, the Energy Ball and Broly's special attack that sends them to the ground with the opponent. That's one. It's super easy to do, too. It's just 2 buttons. You'll find things that work together, and you can start experimenting with that. Like, if Zamasu has, like, say his flying, like, attack can, I don't know, teleport into something else and connect with another attack that you've never used, but you have. Like, that's an example. And that's how I keep getting better with characters, is I learned that. I say, oh, I've never used this for this character before, but now I have a meaning for it. And now I know how to use it. Is this Kamehameha for Goku Black actually comes good when I wall bounce somebody or something, whatever. Just look up a character you like Zamasu, King Gohan hit, and watch some videos on him. Watch how they're played. I didn't mean that to be like a really, really long instructional thing, but